What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3-Star Draw. I am Down South 77, and this here is an adult collector channel where we talk G.I. Joe, mostly classified, and every now and then we'll take a look at some other stuff that I like to collect, and I'll show you guys other things that interest me as well. Today, though, is a G.I. Joe video because I was finally able to get my hands on a couple of the new wave of figures that has been slowly making their way into our hands here in the United States for the last month, depending on where you're looking and how quick you are, and they still have not officially released from most places. I'm not going to go off on a tangent talking about that, don't worry, at least not right now in this video, but we're going to talk about it. It's coming. So anyway, back to the figure. Today, I'm going to be looking at one of my more anticipated figures out of this new wave, number 132, the Iron Grenadier. Out of all of the ones that have released so far in various places, and all 4 of them have released so far in some places, this is probably the one I've been looking forward to the second most, and I think is really the more anticipated one for a lot of people. This one and maybe that V2 Storm Shadow that I may or may not have a video coming on him soon. But this guy looks pretty good, but he's not exactly what everybody wanted, it sounds like to me. From what I have seen on this guy, he looks fine. I think he looks really neat. He's not exactly the Iron Grenadier figure that I remember, but I think this is a nice blend of updating the classic look for the classified, but I'm also not real thrilled because this is one of the figures that you can look at and intentionally tell that they sold us this one knowing they're probably going to try and sell us another one later on in the retro. I don't think they're going to do that with every figure, but I think they're going to do it everywhere that they can if the character's popular enough. But we'll look at what they come up with for the classified line in this one. I think he looks really cool. I already have one major gripe about this figure, and it ties into what I just said. You can probably imagine what it is if you've ever heard me talk about the Snow Serpent. Let's go ahead and check this guy out. Number 132, the Iron Grenadier. Just get a better look at the box and the art there before I get this other light turned on. That's pretty cool. I like that picture there. It's got the back here Destro's castle. I'm assuming that's what that is supposed to be. Got a bunch of Iron Grenadier bats standing back behind this guy, so maybe he's in charge of that squadron of bats or whatever. Those are the ones I'm really waiting on. I said this was my second anticipated one. The bat, of course, is my first. You guys know I like my bats. So got all these things here. Like I still don't know what all of these are supposed to be. They make no sense. There needs to be a key for these things somewhere. So just, of course, highlights. Usual standard stuff we see on the box. Now let's get him out. Look at him in the tray. That's how he comes packaged before I get all of his stuff out. That's what he looks like in his plastic prison. And I think it's interesting for the insert. It's a Cobra insert. I didn't even notice that at first. My buddy Berserker's Brush pointed that out to me, and I didn't even realize that it should be an Iron Grenadier insert in the box, but it's not. It's Cobra. They told us they were going to save some money this year, folks, didn't they? So there he is, as getting everything dumped out of that box, and I pushed that dude out of the box from the back, and he just landed like he's getting ready to do a belly buster off of Destro's houseboat. I hate getting these things out of the trays. I don't know what I hate more, the trays or the plastic ties. Probably the ties. Let's not kid ourselves. Before we look at him, I'm gonna look at the stuff that he comes with and the stuff that he doesn't come with. More importantly, also pictured in this part of the video. I did get my original Iron Grenadier out so we can see how he differs. I don't usually do that, but with this figure, I felt like it was kind of necessary. So he does come with this little sidearm, just a little standard, basic, nothing little pistol. I can't. Is this a revolver? I mean, it's not a. Is it a? Looks like it has a cylinder. I don't know. Not much. It is a little bit bent. Doesn't have a port for blast effects. This was a reuse, I think, from one of the earlier pistols. Is the same sidearm Destro has. It is. That's what I thought. I knew I'd seen it before. So, of course, we have Prophet Director Destro standing in over here because we haven't gotten our Iron Grenadier Destro yet, but I bet he's coming pretty soon. We do have the pistol that came with the first release of Destro, I believe, was where we saw this before. I actually like this, and it works for Destro and the Iron Grenadiers. I don't feel like this would work for a Cobra Trooper, but it works for those guys because he is he's an arms manufacturer and dealer, so he would have a futuristic looking weapon, and who else but Destro would paint it gold? It's pretty straight. Again, no port for blast effects. They weren't doing that yet. Gotta focus. They weren't doing that yet with these, but I do like this weapon for him. Then he comes with this double barrel AR that we've seen a couple of times. The more I see this, the more I like it, but it's not my favorite. I've done a couple reviews. Other people have come with this, and I've talked about hating it to going to it's okay to it's a little better. And they do have the red fold down foregrip for it. I hope it stays attached more than some of the other versions of this we've seen. Again, it's a weapon that seems to fit this guy, so not too upset about it. I wish they'd have tooled some new stuff for him, but there is some new parts with this guy, so I guess that's where the money got spent. And then, for some inexplicable reason, he comes with this LMG. Probably the best LMG that we've got in the line so far. The bipods? Yeah, okay. They're actually kind of tight on this one. Most of the versions of this gun we've seen, they are very loose. I wish they were all one piece instead of each side folding independently. But they are very tight on this one, and they're red, so they stand out. And as you can see, the box magazine is also red. You got the rounds are painted all in gold, so maybe Destro is shooting gold bullets at people. If anybody's going to do it, it would be Destro. And if you've ever seen the movie Posse, you know a solid gold bullet makes a nasty hole. Gold is soft. This is pretty straight. This does feel like a much better plastic. It's a much more rigid plastic than what we've seen. So stock, it's a little bend on the stock. Not bad though. I do like this weapon. I just sometimes they give it to people that don't really need it, and this guy is not somebody that needs this weapon. Then we have the saber again, and this saber is bent, but that was me trying to get it out of the packaging, trying to pop it out, so I can't really fault Hasbro for it, other than, it's soft, but I did bend the hell out of this thing trying to pop it out, so not going to complain a whole lot about that one this time. That's just right there, and I can heat that and move that back over. It does have the gold on the blade and the hilt guard. It's got a little detail there. It looks good. I do have some like rubs there, you can see on the gold. So take that for what you will, but you can see it. And this is the first time I've taken it out of this sheath, so maybe this guy's actually had to use this, which would be more of a ceremonial type thing, but like same one Crimson Guards have, I believe. So that's what that guy comes with. Then we've got his helmet. We got a removable helmet for this guy. Does have the gold. There it is. You know, I got to drop a helmet or a head. Or a backpack. Those are the other things that tend to go. So got the helmet, got the shark fin on top, and I think that's cool that it's raised. It's not a solid piece, so you can see through there. I like this. Then on top, oh, there's a couple of pretzel hairs. I guess he's been sneaking in here again. Get this black or gray band around the black helmet, and it is a shiny, shiny black helmet. And we'll look at that versus the original over there. And this guy is based more on the Collector's Club version of the Iron Grenadier than the original one. He's kind of a mishmash of both. Let's go ahead and check him out. Ooh, nice ratchet. That's what Daddy likes right there. That's how they all need to sound. So see how he moves coming out of the box, and then we'll take a look at his paint. Everything feels really good. Most of these newer figures are starting to feel really good, with the exception of Nemesis Immortal. Don't get me started on that guy. Watch the review. Hell, watch anybody's review. That was a nice shoulder. So butterflies, you don't get a lot with these guys, as we know, but they do seem like they're getting a little bit better. A very little bit at a time. Okay, on the left arm, anyway. And then drop down hips. Yep, good drop down hips on this guy. That's pretty good for this guy right here. Of course, you're not going to get much going out to the side, because he does have this long coat. I'm not going to force that. It's probably about all you're going to get with this dude. Gray pants, which is a big issue for a lot of people. IDGAF, honestly. So gold buttons. He's got the gold piping on his collar. Got the thought maybe that was rank, but that looks like just snaps, because they're the same type that are back here on the collar. I like he's got the gold skull there. First I thought it was a Destro head, but I'm pretty sure that is a skull. That looks pretty cool. Maybe it's Destro's skull. Maybe he's a Terminator. Gold, not really a bandolier. It's gold shoulder strap there that actually holds his holster. Red texture striping there around the gold. Looks really good. Like this dude does look really, really nice. Piping down the coat, down all the way down, blends in, and then the inside of the coat is red, as you can see. Got the same skull, possibly Destro's, on the belt buckle. And then a gold belt buckle. Buttons, all the buttons are painted on this guy with the gold. All black on the arms, and they're more of a flat black, and then you can see that shiny black that I like so much from the Hiss driver and gunner and technician that's on their stripper boots. Same color here, and this guy has it on his nice shiny boots too. He doesn't have the stripper boots though. He does have a thigh swivel, and ankles seem to be pretty good. And we'll have to check those out a little further in just a minute. That's what his mask looks like. I don't know what that is supposed to be on the side. It's some kind of hose, maybe. Filtration system, I don't know. And then over here you got a breather. They could have painted that. I think that should have been black too, but you can't really complain about the paint on this guy because they spent some money painting him up. Got some nicks there, top of his head in the plastic. I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not. Don't seem like that's something that's supposed to be there, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but they're there. Black visor. I like the look of this guy's mask. Is kind of two-piece Darth Vader-y look. Well, you got your silver, goes all the way around, that holds on this whatever part. I don't know what you call it, bottom part of the mask. And back here you've got your holster attached to this whatever bandolier that's not a bandolier. And then the other side of that, you've got some more gold buttons. Then he has another holster attached to his belt. All of this is all one piece. This whole bottom of the coat part. Now that I see it that way, it almost looks like it's a skirt. Maybe it's supposed to be because he's wearing pants. Maybe it's supposed to be a skirt. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's all part of the coat, but it almost looks like it could be a skirt. But I think this shiny black continuing down right here tells us that it's a coat. But can you see that it's like a long skirt? I don't know. Looks good though. I do like this guy. Looks really good. This is a damn good looking figure. He does stand pretty well. So let's throw his helmet on, see how well that pops on. It's gonna stay on pretty good, I think. I don't feel like that's gonna just fall off. If you bump it or something, it's gonna come loose. But I don't feel like it's not gonna just fall off doing that. If you bump it, don't bump it, kids. Good ratchet on this guy. He moves really well. So let's throw this on there. And as you can see, my Iron Grenadier from my childhood is in 3 pieces. But he has his thumbs and his dick. So what does he also have? What we are missing. It's my number one gripe with this figure. I don't mind that they strayed away from this design. And I just kind of put him back together here so we can look at everything together. Sorry, I don't replace O-rings because I'm scared to take my original figures apart. Maybe one day I'll attempt it, but most of them are in 3 pieces. So I don't mind that they strayed away from the black pants with the red on them. I think the gray looks good because he does have gray up here that ties it together. And these guys are wearing ties. And they have more button-down collars on their shirt. So underneath this, they're wearing, I want to say a dress shirt, but I think it's more of an army, like a dress army uniform. It was in ROTC when I was in high school, and that's what that looked like. Wasn't quite as flashy. But he does have the ribbing here on the original, on the coat, and they did keep that here. Bandolier. See, the bandolier is very similar. The buttons on mine have worn off, but you've got the gold that continues around. Now they didn't do, oh, there goes his legs. You got magic legs. They did not do the gold cuffs on this guy, which I don't mind. That would have looked really good here at the actual cuff if they'd have done that in gold or in this red. But again, it's hard to complain about this guy with the amount of paint that they did put on him. You can see the difference in the face mask here. This guy is a good mashup between this one, the original, and the Collector's Club figure. I never had the Collector's Club figure, but I'm looking at a picture of it on my monitor so I can see what's what. Collector's Club figure had a similar coat but it was all gray. And I don't know what color the pants were on that figure. The picture I'm looking at just shows the coat with brown boots and brown gloves. I think this one looks better with the black, and these are more of a tailed coat in the back than a whole like a trench coat, which I don't want a trench coat for any of these guys because the movement by some of these overlays is already hindered enough. So let's look at his magic legs. They did do away with the pouch over here on the left leg, which is fine. You don't need it. These little shin guards are still textured, but they're a different kind of texture. And the boots, these were more of a military style boot on the original figure, and these are more of a dress boot on the classified version. I think what people really miss is this all black look with that red piping. But then again, the original figure does not have the long coat. So I do like the gray. I don't mind it. But the fact that they did do it that way. Oh, and look at his helmet. So he does have the shark fin. The helmet is pretty much identical, except that it is gold here like it was on the exclusive figure. And here it does not have the cutout where it's raised above the helmet being part of the helmet, but it probably would have if they could have done that in 1980, 88, I think, when this guy come out. So all in all, I really like the look of this guy. Now there's people that complain the saber is on the wrong side. Typically it is on the left. Usually the saber is on the left and not the right. I'm not going to nitpick that. I mean, it is what it is. Would have been cooler if it was on the left, but that's not something that really matters to me as far as the details on how they do the figures. Because maybe Destro, maybe his faction carries their sabers on the left. He doesn't follow traditional military stuff. Look at these guys. They're wearing gold. So there he is with this double barrel AR. I forget the name of it. It's a real thing, but he can get his hand on the foregrip. These guys do have some of the stiffer plastic hands, but I do like this foregrip. He can hold it. And of course, if you work everything around, you can probably get a little bit better shooting pose with it, but he can do it. Oh, there we go. Told you the plastic on the hands was stiff. I knew I wasn't lucky enough for that to stay very tight. That's what I said. So there he is with that weapon. Let's check him out with the super weird laser pistol, which I think really looks good with this guy. I can see them sporting this. This is probably what I'll have this guy carry. And this one does go right back here like this, I do believe. I'm guessing that's how that fits in there. Maybe I got it backwards. I have it backwards. There we go. That's a little better. So that cutout goes right there. Looks like it's going to stay in place okay. Then he does have another holster back here for that pistol. So this dude's armed up pretty well. Probably going to knock that out of there. And let's see what he looks like holding this LMG. He looks good, I ain't gonna lie. He does look good holding it. And you can get... You can't quite get them to hold it, but you can get them to support it. And they're not going to get the stock up because it's got a really long stock on it. It's going to be more of a that kind of thing, and you can get the hands over here underneath it, but it is difficult. So there's what he looks like with that one. That one is going in the bag. That one's going in the accessory bag. He does stand quite nicely, which is pretty refreshing for one of these guys to get them out and have them just stand with no real work. So let's pop his saber on there, and tell you what, let's give him, I like this one. So we'll let him hold that one, and then he can have one of his pistols for a backup. So I do like this dude, man. So get a couple of these, flanking Destro. Destro just showing out. Walking into the club with the gold briefcase and the guards with the gold accents. Let's see if they match. Destro's is a little bit darker. I really like this Prophet Director Destro. This is actually my favorite Destro they've done so far. When they do the Iron Grenadier Destro, that will probably change, assuming he's a good figure. But for now, this is what we got. I don't paint and customize my guys, so that's what we got right now. So let's sweep that over to the side. Let's put him back here. And we got Metalhead out because this guy's lonely, being the only actual Iron Grenadier so far, aside from Metalhead. So I grabbed him off the shelf just so he can represent. Not really sure why Metalhead is an Iron Grenadier, but he is. So I can't see these guys wanting to work with Metalhead. Metalhead's just stupid. Alright, so time to give this guy a rating. This is a really good figure. I don't really have any gripes with it. All the joints are tight. The choice of weapons, I mean, they just grabbed this one out and repainted it and was like, oh, we hadn't used that one for about 4 figures. This dude is really good, y'all. I do recommend picking him up. I think most everybody probably is if you're a classified collector and you're a Destro or Iron Grenadier fan. Obviously, he's a must-have. This dude is a stellar figure. Don't really have much to complain about with him at all. This guy is a solid 4.5 yeehaws. That's a dang good score from me. Guys, if you like this review, you want to see some more of them, I'd appreciate it. You hit that like, hit that subscribe, that thumbs up, all that good stuff. Leave me a comment. I try to respond to all of them. All that stuff helps in that algorithm. And I will catch you guys next time on 3 Star Draw.